Hey everybody, it's Doom here from Dungeons and Doom Biscuit. And now we're going to finish up this two-part house that I built. And if you look at it here, it's just some Dollar Tree foam and some cardstock. And a board game piece. Okay, that's all it is. So we're going to get it painted up now. So the first thing we want to do is get any wet paint dealt with. So I have some underneath here, and that's about it. There might be a little wet around the foundations and stuff. I'm not sweating that shit. So you want to get a soft brush, something from the Dollar Tree. That's not the one I want. I want this one. Nice. And we want to do the whole thing in a medium brown right off the bat, and we're going to lighten it down in steps. So for that medium brown, I'm getting melted chocolate. I'm squirting it on my thing there. Okay. And we're going to start with the top floor. And lighten that up. You want to get down in the cracks and everything. I'm not worried about the roof. Now, when I say wattle and daub, one of my boys asked me what that is, and I had to explain it because he doesn't know about it, but it's W-A-T-T-L-E, not waddle like a duck, it's wattle, W-A-T-T-L-E, and daub, D-A-U-B. If I'm pulling some dirt up in this that part, that's going to be okay, because we can just go back in and paint over that and make that work. I'm going to get a little more of that light brown, that medium brown. And try to get some better coverage on the ground out here and stuff. It's pulling up a little bit in that corner. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a dibby dab of super. Drip that down in there. And I'm going to sturdy that up with a little bit of baking soda. And I just don't care if it's not beautiful in there, you know. Get a little more baking soda in there. We'll let that deal with itself over time. Okay, so now we're going to come back to the top part, and we're going to do a really light coating. We're going to hit this with the air gun. Sorry, it's like 25 degrees in here and 21 degrees outside, so. We got some spider web there. That's kind of stuck to it. Oh well, it'll be all right. All right, so we want to get a lighter color. We're gonna go really light this time. We're gonna do territorial beige. too much on that brush. It's going to be unmanageable. All right, let me change out brushes. Get something dry. There we go. There we go. And what you want to do is mainly, you can get it everywhere, but you want to really focus on the wattle and daub parts. You want to lighten that up, okay? Everything can be lightened up. It won't hurt, but you really want to focus on your wattle and daub. You want to get a variation of undercoat in there so you can work on it and make it look good. Okay. Once you get that lightened up pretty well, you can kind of set this brush down, but we got to do some work over here on this. Well, I'm a little heavy on the paint there. We'll just try to spread that around and make that work. Okay, that is coming back up with authority. It's just way cold this time of year, and sometimes trying to do this stuff in a cold garage is not ideal. But we are going to figure that out in just a second here. Okay. Okay, we're going to hold that down. We're going to see if I can get my air gun. Okay, that looks pretty good. And this side's coming up too. So we're just gonna drip some back in the corner and along that back wall a little bit. All right. Okay. I'll set that in front of the fan. we'll switch to the roof. So for the roof base coat, I'm using that same medium beige there, and I'm mixing some yellow in that. I'll mix that brown in too. We'll just get it all mixed up. All right. Underneath, I'm not worried about it so much, but we do need to kind of make sure we get those edges good. Okay, now we're going to airbrush this, or hot air gun this. Then you need to get that pretty dry, and then you're going to get a soft brush. And I'm going to mix a little bit of this ivory, which is like an off-white. In with whatever's left of that color there. And get something interesting. Okay. So this color is called khaki. We're gonna get a little bit of this. Pop that big chunk off. And we're gonna see if we need to add the ivory, but I don't think we're gonna have to. So we're just gonna get a lot of that off. It's still a little bright for me, for my liking. So I'm going to get some of that ivory and mix that on there and lighten it up a little bit more. All right, I'm a lot happier at that. I just want to hit that edges up a little bit more. I'm pretty pleased. All right, let's see how that bottom floor is doing. It's pretty sturdy. Everything's still put together the way we designed it to. Seems to. seems to all still fit together. Okay, so for this next part, we can kind of leave it together in that piece like that to work on it. You want to get a brush that has a flat knife tip like that. It doesn't have to be perfect, but I'm going to use one that I don't care if I ruin it. Okay. And I'm going to mix some khaki and some of that ivory together. I'm going to get in here. And you can get it on everything if you have to. Like if you see how I made that mistake there and got it all over stuff I didn't want it on, that's okay, dudes and dudettes. Just make sure it's not clumpy and wet when you just spread it around, and we'll get it in the next section. We'll fix it. I need more paint. Oops, there we go. Okay. Once you have a kind of a uniform look going all the way around, and it doesn't have to be perfect, but it has to look like it's uniform. I want to pull my top off. I'm going to hit this part of the bottom here. I'm going to hit the tops of my walls with a little bit of intensity. And I'm going to do the insides of the rooms. My nose is stuffed. I'm breathing through my mouth. I'm so sorry. I probably sound like a crazy monster. Which is good if you're a dungeon master, but not good if you're making a video. Okay, now, last but not least, you want to get a soft brush. You want to gather up the rest of that and make it like a cream. Okay, and then you want to make sure you've hit every piece that is not necessarily part of your wattle and daub. And we're going to darken those up using ancient techniques called damp paint. Okay. We can put this back together. for now. Let's get rid of that cardboard. Let's get a shot glass, some medium brown paint, and a little bit of water and a smallish brush that we can work with. That's not the brush I want. This one. Okay. I want water. I need a bigger brush to get some water. Probably a cleaner brush would have been better. Okay. You want to just drag that on to all your wood pieces. Just like old war painters using the side of your brush. Oh my God, I was watching a video the other day and some lady said she invented this painting with the side of the brush. I almost shit myself laughing. I was driving and I was listening to her, go on and on about how creative and thoughtful she is. And then she said she invented using the side of her brush. And then I died. Because the comedy was just too big. Yes, lady, you invented something new in the year 2024 or 2025. You did it. You figured out the secret that none of us, over the millions of years we've been doing this, have been able to figure out. No painters, not Michelangelo when he was working on the Sistine Chapel, not Squidmar when he was painting Henry Cavill's Dream Army. You, lady, you're the one. You figured it out. I don't try to be like, oh, Doom, you figured out how to do stuff. I don't try to say that kind of shit. Because I know that people have come before me and done it, and I've not invented anything new. If I say something's my style, what I mean is it's the style in which I do it, not that I invented it. But she was like, I'm going to show you a style I came up with myself. And I was like, oh, interesting. And then she said, I used the side of my brush. And I almost shitted in my pants. Okay. I want to show you guys a new style I invented. It's using the back of the brush. I probably shouldn't rag on people. I'm always talking about being kind, and here I am making fun of someone. I'm a total asshole. All right. Maybe she really thinks she invented it, She's like, no one has ever done this. Maybe she really thinks that. It's possible. Some people are gullible. Some people are clueless. It's very possible. Okay, then you want to go through it. Any spots where you got white along the floor, you want to make sure you cover those up with this too. And any spots that are light or weird in there, just kind of drag it in. You're going to see more of that along the corners like mine, most likely. And we'll just make some interest in here. Then we'll come outside and clean up the white areas. And like I said, they're probably going to be more along the base of the house, like mine. Unless you're super crazy or super creative and have done something different that none of us have ever seen, like painted with the side of your brush. Now I'm just trying to use up whatever paint I have left so it's not wasted. Okay. Let's get rid of that brush. Get rid of that. Let's hit the hot air gun on this. Now I'm not quite done, but I'm not going to put the roof back on yet. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get a little bit of clear glue. I'm going to get a little clear glue. I apologize. I got to blow my nose. I'm so sorry. That's rude. I know it is. All right, so I'm going to get a really fine plastic bristle brush, and I don't care if I get it a little gross. And I'm going to focus mostly on areas where I'm not real happy with the way my ground cover looks. And then I'm going to try to get it where the ground and the wall meet some too, in some spots especially, to try to... And you see there's a little bit of wet paint going in with my glue, dudes. That's okay. I need a little more glue. Okay. Just leg it. And I want to make sure I get in here in all the areas where I could make it look nice with my grass flock. And you don't have to be a pro at this. You see, I'm just throwing it down in random spots. And I don't know what I'm doing. Okay. So let's get our flock. Let's transplant this onto something we can try to recover flock with if we make a big mess. All right. So there's a couple things we want to do yet. We want to hit this with an air gun, and I am going to clear coat this off camera, but I'm not going to do it on camera because it's hard to move my rig around to go over and do it. We don't have a front door. I would like to rectify that we do not have a front door. So I am going to see if I can't make us one real quick. Let me see what time it is before I get into that. Okay, we got about a few minutes here. So if we throw this back together real quick. Oh, wow. Stupid luck. Stupid luck. Now, I have no intention of learning English today. No, making some intense swinging open door, though you could. You easily could. Now, my hot glue gun is not heated up, which is going to make this problematic. No problem, though. We'll heat that up and we'll move on to something else real quick. All right, so if you look at our house, we need the top wood. The wood that's on the top of the house needs darkened up. And I didn't want to do that with that that light of a brown. I wanted to use something darker. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to get some of this darker brown. Man, I really need to go on a shopping trip. I'm like on supply zero around here. I'm just getting some water in there. Okay. I'm going to get that same brush that I used. I'm going to add a little bit of gray to that. This is my favorite color in the whole world, pavement. I'm just going to put a little drip in there. We're just waiting for my hot air gun to heat up so we can... I'm sorry, my, not hot air gun, my glue gun to heat up. I'm getting a little bit more water. Okay, there we go. I'm going to make it real thin. And then I want to do my planks with this. And you could come back when this is all dry and hit this with a dry brush. See, I didn't put any wood texture on this foam over here for some reason. I must have just missed it, I guess. Okay, glue gun should be heated up. Let's work on the door. So there's a couple things we want to establish. One, we want to establish the middle of the door. We're going to do that with this piece here. And then we're going to cut some of this off. Then I'm going to go to the center stuff. Okay. And then I want my door to stick out a little bit past where it fits nicely. So to do that, I'm just going to hit that on there real quick. Then I'm going to come and snip off my excess pieces. On the bottom, I want it to be kind of flush. On the top, I just don't care. Having problems here. Okay. Spider webs be all up in the way. Like I said, I want the bottom to be flush. The top, I just don't care. And I'm just going to pull off any excess glue I have there that I didn't want. And I'm going to trim these in a little bit. Okay. And let's take a look and see if that fits on our house now. Oh. Yep. I just need to trim a little bit of this off. Just the tiniest little bit. Okay. So we want to get some straps across that door. And to do that, just drag it, clean it up, stick it on. Same thing. Okay. Now, you need like a little pull handle or something on there maybe. You don't know. You're not sure. Get yourself a little piece of reinforcement here. A little dibby dab of glue. Oh. Burn your hand a little bit and get that on the door. Okay. You could do the inside of the door some texture if you wanted to. I'm not going to. I am going to get a little door handle on there though. So let me reach into my box of stuff. You can get like 50 of these little rings for like $1.25 at Michael's or somewhere. It's all it is a it's like for putting together something. I don't know what. Necklaces maybe. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut a little piece of that. I'm going to get that ring. I'm going to thread it through there. Oh, shit. My hands just don't behave the way they used to. Okay, there we go. See if I can hold it long enough to show you. So I've just folded it around that loop. I'm going to get a little dibby dab of glue. Okay. I'm going to mount that to that door. But I'm letting it stretch out a little bit as I'm sticking it down. Okay. See how I did that? Okay. Now we're going to need a dab of glue on there. Just the tiniest little dab of glue to hold it in place forever. Is my glue empty? Figures. Now, I'm impatient, very impatient, so I'm going to turn that into That's Forever home real quick. And that little knocker moves up and down just the way I want it to. I'm going to grab my knife and cut this little piece of glue here so it blows away. All right, just remove any glue you got on there. I'm going to glue this to something with hot glue so I can paint it. And all I'm going to do is just get this thing I've used for miniatures and stuff. I'm going to put a tiny dab of glue there. I'm going to stick this door to it. I'm going to get this paint here that I was using. I'm going to stir that up and coat this door with it. And you want to try to get off all the excess paint that you can. to air gun this. And then you could paint that knocker and everything if you wanted to. I really don't want to, but we will. We're just going to get a little dab of this on here. Like that. And I'm going to get a plastic cheapy brush. This is pretty cheapy. It just says number 4 on it. And I'm 70% sure that's not even a size 4. So then I'm just going to get in here and just lightly hit that. I'm not going into a ton of detail on it because that's not our main focus of my house. And then I'm just going to get a piece of cardboard here. I'm going to take a lot of that off. And I'm going to drag it along these straps on the door lightly. Okay. Maybe a little bit more now that I'm looking at it. There we go. No pressure though, just drag it with no pressure. Okay. And you could dry brush that door down if you feel the need. I don't. I'm not gonna. So, I'm gonna shove that in there. If it fits like I want it to. It might not fit the way I want it to. Okay, so when the house is shut, is it upside down maybe? Nope, I'm just a dumbass. It happens. Okay. There we go. And then let all that dry up. If you want to go around and fix some mistakes, you can. I'm not going to fix any on mine. I'm going to leave it how it is. And then when I want to use it for D&D, I'm going to open it up. I am going to clear coat all this except for the door. And when I want players to be able to go inside and outside of a building and fight, I'll open it up. And that'll be that. So that's it. That is a house that comes apart that you can use it for fighting indoors and outdoors. It's going to look okay on the table. You can put more work into it if you want to. So anyways, the reason I'm building this, I guess I probably should have explained that, is the next, you're going to need some houses. Because the next Doom venture after the Library of Delasan is called What's Happening in Burg. And it is an adventure dealing with a town that is starting to flood. An ancient swamp that was dried out long ago to get rid of witches is now seeping full of water again from somewhere. And it's affecting this town. And for those of you that have played the Doom Ventures on Discord with us for a night or two maybe, you'll know a little bit about this because you've seen what happens as this progresses. So anyways, there you go. That's how it goes. And it'll work exactly how you want it to for what you want it to work for. So thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Be safe and get ready as I start going through this next Doom venture of what's going on with Burg or what's the problem with Burg. I haven't come up with a clean title yet. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.